Tonight we report on who the next executive director for the Port of Moses Lake could be and how much money was donated to the candidates of the Grant County prosecutor race so far. What's going on in sports, Sean?
The Babe Ruth World Series is right around the corner, and King Felix breaks another Major League record. Here's a glance at our Weather Center forecast.
And as we slide out of July and into August, no changes. Looks like August is going to start the way July ends. All the details coming up.
I'm Alan Troop. Stay tuned for all of this and much more on iFIBER 1 News.
From the iFIBER 1 HD studio here in the heart of the Columbia Basin, this is iFIBER 1 News, your #1 source for local news, sports headlines, and our very own Weather Center forecast covering the entire Columbia Basin. This is iFIBER 1 News, and it starts now.
The Port of Moses Lake commissioners have been searching for a successor to Port Executive Director Pat Jones since May. Reporter Jeff Chu has the details on the potential new executive.
The Port of Moses Lake commissioners will offer the job of Port Executive Director to Jeffrey Bishop, City Manager and City Clerk of Miami, Oklahoma. The commissioners since May have been searching for a successor to Port Executive Director Pat Jones, who chose not to renew his 3-year contract for personal reasons. The commissioners went into closed session Wednesday to discuss the executive director hire and came out after about an hour to make their decision in open session. The Port Commissioners will now negotiate a salary and benefits with the hope that Bishop can start work in about a month. Bishop has been in Miami, Oklahoma since April 2012. Before that, he was Chief Executive Officer at Oregon International Port of Coos Bay for 7 years. Bishop was Manager of Industrial Development for the Port of Tacoma for more than 3 years before moving to Coos Bay. He is also the former Director of Properties and Development for the Port of Pasco. I'm Jeff Chu for iFIBER 1 News.
Grant County prosecutor candidate Garth Dano has raised nearly 3 times as much money as incumbent Angus Lee. In the first 3 months of reporting to the Washington State Public Disclosure Commission, Dano listed $43,030 in campaign funds. Lee has listed $13,850. The 2-man race will be decided in the November primary. Dano, a Moses Lake civil and defense attorney, is financially supported by 23 donors, including 6 attorneys, a dentist, a veterinarian, and a radio show host. Lee, the Grant County prosecutor, is financially supported by 2 deputy prosecutors, 3 business owners, 3 businesses, and an appraiser. A complete list of who donated to the candidates and how much they gave them is listed on our website at iFIBER1.com. A woman is going to prison after helping to lure a man to a Moses Lake home to rob him. Sierra Webb, a 20-year-old Moses Lake resident, pleaded guilty in Grant County Superior Court to robbery in the 1st degree and kidnapping in the 2nd degree. She was sentenced to 2 years and 2 months in prison. Webb was one of 3 people charged with robbing a man after luring him to a cross-street home. The victim thought he was going to see a prostitute. The victim reported talking with a woman on a Moses Lake escort site. He arranged to meet her. When he arrived, Webb led him inside, and 2 men reportedly came into the home with guns and demanded money from the victim. The victim reported giving the men $400 in cash, his passport, and his debit card. They allegedly let the man leave about an hour after he arrived. They reportedly called him for the PIN to his debit card while he was talking with police. A Grant County inmate reportedly escaped the jail on his hands and knees as another man was being released. Prosecutors charged Jamie Hampshire, a 29-year-old Moses Lake man, in Grant County Superior Court with escape in the 1st degree. Hampshire was being held in the Grant County Jail on felony theft charges when he escaped Sunday morning. According to an Ephrata police report, video surveillance reportedly showed Hampshire contact an inmate who was being released. Hampshire allegedly got on his hands and knees and crawled out the door as the other man was walking out. The former inmate reportedly told investigators he tried to prevent Hampshire from leaving and returned to the jail to tell them about the escape. Now let's take a look at people currently being sought out by the Grant County Sheriff's Office.
This is Sheriff Tom Jones with the Grant County Sheriff's Office. Each of the people you see here have a warrant for their arrest. If you see any of these people, we ask you do not attempt to detain or apprehend them, but call us at 509-762-1160 or send us an email at crimetips@co.grant.wa.us. If the person is presenting a danger, call 911. With your help, we can bring these people to justice and make our community safer.
Stay tuned. Weather and sports are up next. We'll be right back after this.